top 16s, and even top 8s coming out from him. We're going to be moving into this one right away. Frydasole versus WaveGod here in game 1. Look at us in the bottom corner. Oh, never mind.
Oh, and we're gone. There we go. Frydasole now there. You see him. You've seen like
Barely.
this exact gamer posture
Yeah,
on stream. Like,
this is what his stream looks like.
This is like his face gets cut off, that he reels back after everything. Yeah, no, this is exactly it. And he's on the Enchantress, right? So this is that orb Scythe. Frydasole, one of the few Scythe mains that remains still playing Scythe and likes to play this character in particular. Meanwhile, WaveGod has been playing Asuri long before Qatar, like
forever.
Like, Qatar's was meta. Then it wasn't meta, now it's back to meta again, and he was with Asuri the entire way through. Really decimates Frydasole there on that first stock.
Now coming into this one, WaveGod with an absolutely gigantic lead. But you talk about Frydasole being one of the few side players out there. It's like he's in an even smaller community within that community because he's a Fate player.
Yeah,
he's not a Mordex player.
For some reason, I feel like everyone's like, man, Orb's so broken. Only Radish playing Orb. Like, what was the stat for Winter Championship out of all the people in top 8? Orb was only picked by Radish.
Yeah.
So having Frydasole in the situation that's willing to put the Orb onto the table and go so forward with it, wow, WaveGod actually just waiting to see what Frydasole was going to do there. Really shaking it up. Oh, the neutral spikes. Is that going to be enough? The weapon though gets the dodge.
Yeah.
Frydasole can't even touch the stage. He's barely damaged. Sparky, you have a good idea of what the damage numbers are here for this. It's like 100, 120 coming out.
Yep.
For WaveGod, he's barely taking anything.
Yep, he is in such a good spot on this one. Even after, almost picked that one up, but he was able to dodge through it. A beautiful dodge, nonetheless, coming out. And he still gets the gravity cancel there, goes with the D-Light into the recovery. Has more than a full stock lead on top of Frydasole right now in game 1. WaveGod looking amazing here.
Yeah, he tries to go in stock recovery twice. Down air, double down air. Frydasole gets the 0 to knockout there in under 30 seconds. And just like that, we've evened it up 1-1. Frydasole barely taking any damage, and WaveGod, who was doing so well, gets destroyed by Scythe off stage. And that's the benefit that you get at being a really good Scythe player, is that you get that dodge read, you get 2 stuff recovery effects, and just like that, they don't got a stock to play with.
Yep, that shows the experience that Frydasole has with that weapon. That is a Scythe player move. If you're just picking up Scythe, you know, I'm going to have some fun, play Scythe. The strings are fun. I like picking those up. Like, you're not going to be hitting that like Frydasole hits that.
All right, dashing forward with the Nairs here. Frydasole's been playing on the Orb. Down there can come through, tries to get a nice dodge and move with the Nair. And man, WaveGod punishes him for that, but the weapon throw does not connect. He finds himself disarmed. Frydasole with the fresh Scythe. Can he get a catch here? There's one side air. Does he switch over? He does. Nicely done. Throws the weapon away. Starves WaveGod from getting anything else. And WaveGod doesn't seem to be like he's super interested in fighting unarmed. Picks up the sword instead. And he falls into the lingering hitbox of that neutral light. But that time he gets around, gets the Sair, and starts to tackle more damage. Sparky, if Frydasole brings this back, that would be so wildly impressive to me.
He's just a little bit behind right now. I think WaveGod is starting to put a lot of respect on his name. I think he's looking a little bit nervous against Fry. He knows the comeback potential is very real here. Fry sticking with the Scythe. It almost looked like, oh, is there enough room for me to pick up the Orb in there? I believe there was, but no, he wanted to stick with the Scythe. Both of these players not wanting to commit, Tazza.
WaveGod doesn't even want to wait for the downlight. Oh, the silent hit, strong hit on the active input. Sends him flying. Frydasole waiting for this landing here. He spot dodges the Sair. Frydasole gets hit by the recovery on that side there. The neutral light doesn't disarm him. He ducks down to avoid the weapon. And WaveGod reads that Frydasole is going to go low. He doesn't. Goes for the side air. Gets the dare. And it's the perfect angle. Slides down with the side signature weapon toss. Gets the stuff recovery. And a great comeback from Frydasole. A 3-stock comeback coming into that game number 1 where WaveGod shakes his head knowing that he threw that game away after that double dare on the edge guard to the right comes through. And Frydasole just like that. What a clutch.
And we don't have the dynamic that we had of Vecina versus Fredburger, where like game 1, that's the like surprise game where you can catch him out with all those goofy signatures that you're using. That's not really the case here. These two players are more evenly matched than Fred and Vecina. So the fact that Fry was able to take game 1, I don't think it's a gimmick. I don't think he got lucky. I don't think he really necessarily, quote-unquote, surprised. It was his amazing Scythe gameplay. Now, you were looking at the bracket. What were you looking for?
I was looking to see how these two players could even get into this position where they're vying for this elimination side, top 32. And Frydasole went down 3-0 to Godly. WaveGod going down 3-0 to Anime. So those were some interesting thoughts. And we're actually going to be going to the Western Air Temple here. A very rare counter pick. We just saw a match on Enigma. And game number 2 coming over here onto the Air Temple. So the unique property of this being a dual platform map unlike Miami Dome, the platforms tend to adjust themselves on the side. So you'll see one platform be higher than the other at certain points in the game. And then a smaller column for the center of the stage. Frydasole doing a great job getting around Wavegod's edge guards here, and he tries to get that Sair pickup, gets the Nair. One more down air could do it, Sparky, but no, he misses that recovery there. That recovery hits. Can Wavegod make it back? Nice touch. Dare, recovery, back to stage. They've been fighting this entire match off stage.
It's all been on the edge. They both seem reasonably comfortable. Now we're back on the main stage. The orb is in Fry's hand. Side light, side air, gonna take that out. Likely gonna swap over. No, he's not. He's just waiting. Okay.
Yeah. So he's delaying that next weapon spawn while delaying when Wavegod could go for it. D-Light side air is not going to be enough to knock out Fry.
That doesn't really delay it though. Like if you want to delay, you're going to go for that juggle. I don't think that's going to delay.
No, I think if you just leave the weapon on the stage, it just delays it.
I don't think so, because like if you're in training mode,
we'll worry about it later.
It'll just spawn. Yeah, you're right.
Well, going back into this, either way, he just wanted to do that. Didn't feel like going for the juggle. Has the scythe now. Gets some damage through. Falls to the down air. Nair catches. This could be an edge guard here, Sparky. Friday has been terrifying off stage against Wavegod.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if at this point Wavegod, even though they spent like the first stock, most of it over on the edge, maybe they're not going to, or maybe he is. We saw the D-Light go right off that soft platform over on the edge. Wavegod going back onto the main stage, grabbing the guitars, just kind of sitting there. Doesn't want to go anywhere near the blast zone, so he's staying as far away from Fry as he can, trying to like hold on to that center stage control. Weapon toss, going to take away that first stock from Frydasole. Going to grab that weapon, going all the way up, going to toss it up, and hopefully grab the next one in time, stripping the field, keeping Fry weapon starved. But even now, like Wavegod has the weapon advantage. Still seems very cautious, but he still has control of the weapons.
Frydasole's going for these pickup recoveries unarmed, trying to catch Wavegod being towards the top of the stage. And he got one of them. They can't get any other ones, and Frydasole's perfectly fine with this lead, waiting for Wavegod to approach him, and maybe he doesn't want to think that way anymore after that double recovery and a Nair. Frydasole taking a ton of damage here after he was doing so well in that first stock, and he has yet to clean up Wavegod's second stock from what a huge lead he got at the very beginning.
Yeah, the way Wavegod is all of a sudden playing by kind of like waiting for Fry, hoping that Fry gets impatient, like he's done a pretty good job adding up damage. The fact that like Fry hits the D-Light there, not a big deal, and there you go! He's gonna wait over on the edge, wait for Fry to push into him, turn around the edge guard, get the stock, and all of a sudden it went from like Fry being halfway through first stock and Wavegod being red on second to Wavegod still red on second and Frydasole all the way on his final stock. Some just strong patience coming out from Wavegod.
I think what Frydasole tried was worth trying, but he won't do that again, which is that he was so far ahead. He was like, I'm going to wait for the weapon spawn for a little bit, and I'm just going to wait for a favorable spawn since you're not approaching me. But he gave Wavegod some time to breathe, some time to think, and Wavegod took that time and turned it into a lead. And that Sair is not even going to be enough to knock out here. And as he dips down low off the side of the stage, Wavegod has a chance for an edge guard here. Okay, Sair evens up the game 1-1, but still really great comeback from Wavegod here in game 2.
There's about 50 damage difference between them in the favor of Wavegod. He's going to be unarmed here, gets thrown over to the edge with a Dare and the side light and the D-Light and the down air. Fry wants to continue this. Wavegod was sweating, gets back to the main platform, picks the sword, throws it away, hoping for another weapon spawn to come in. Unarmed against Scythe is very difficult. Gets in with a side light, kicks him away, picks guitars in like down air. Okay.
Oh, getting so much extra damage here. Frydasole goes forward with that down light. Neutral misses. Frydasole duns off again with the Sair, gets hit by the recovery. Edge guard opportunity. He goes in for a very quick falling Sair. Weapon throw goes right through Frydasole. And can Frydasole get something started? He's looking for the down light, the Dares, the Nair, something to be able to use the active input to take him off stage. Can he do it? One recovery hits, no down light follow-up. Frydasole and Wavegod so close in this game too. Silent will put him off stage. Another side light, and he uses the kick to put him up, gets the follow-up right afterwards, and one more of those could be the stock. Side air off the pickup of the orb, and Frydasole takes the game 2.
Ground pounding onto that soft platform and stopping it there. I think he might have thought that was going to scare Fry a little bit. He's going to pull it out early and hope that he can recover after that and find the punishment onto Fry or maybe push further into him. But no, Fry doesn't even blink, gets the KO there, and all of a sudden still holds on to that control. You see it reflected in the numbers. It's the Scythe gameplay, baby.
And that is incredible. Scythe is not a high damaging weapon, Sparky. You have to do a lot. You have to hit a lot of hits on Scythe to be able to do 405 damage. Have that be your primary damage tool. And look at that second stock coming out from Wavegod. Played so well, only to get decimated by Frydasole there at the very end. Frydasole lost his 2 stocks in very quick succession, then stabilized, came back, and still got the win. Only 2 damage being dealt by the sword. I'm not sure if that's including the weapon throws there. It kind of has to.
Yeah,
right?
that has to be weapon. I don't think he picked something up like late in the attack to where he got a little.
The very last hit of sword sidelight might actually do 2 damage.
You see that
training
weapon.
It's just like the trail of ones.
Yeah, I don't think he happened to pick something up on like the last few frames of it, so he did a little bit of damage.
It's low. It might as well be 0, right?
Yeah, the fact that he did it also with weapon tosses is still really interesting. But if we look at the damage, because WaveGod was so efficient with it, he put out total 406 damage when you add in the 2 damage from the sword weapon tosses, and Frydasole did 405 on just the scythe.
Yeah, that's a really interesting stat. Yeah, good call out there. And he used the orb as a finisher, right? That last stock, he was hitting him so much with the scythe. And then when it got to the point where he was like, wait, WaveGod could just go down to an orb Sair, he tossed the scythe away, picked up the orb, and then caught the landing with the Sair instead of the scythe, because I don't think scythe side air knocks out there. It's a powerful move, but not as powerful as most weapon Sairs. That recovery comes close to taking WaveGod off the top. Slides with that down signature, and WaveGod just throws the weapon at it. Does 1 damage with the sword. Let's see if we can do it again.
Okay, that's okay. We changed everything up here by finding an actual move to make contact with Frydasole. D-Light side air. WaveGod's definitely at a pretty big deficit here, and especially with the orb in hand, you know it's going to be those consistent KO options. The sidelight side air. Yo, he turned that one around, got the movement quick to the right, turned it around, was able to slide charge it over to the left. Incredible work from WaveGod to get the lead here on Apocalypse.
Yeah, and that's one of those favorite things that certain players like to do. You dash towards the edge of the platform, you pivot the side signature, and you get the full momentum on the charge. Nice recovery from Frydasole, but he uses that to catch Frydasole off guard, hit him for the edge guard, and take the lead. Albeit barely, but I mean, he was behind red to yellow, so that was a really great comeback coming out from WaveGod here in Game 3 with his back against the wall, because Frydasole only has to win 1 more game to knock WaveGod out of the tournament and get into the elimination side of top 32.
Yeah, this is an elimination side qualifier, so like the stakes are very high here. It's whether you're going to make it out of pools into the top 32, or if you are going to drown in pools. And your tournament run, I mean, because neither of these players are still in 2v2, like your tournament's over.
Yeah.
For one of these players, literally right now, your weekend of gameplay is essentially over, and you have to sit in the stands and watch the person who beat you move on.
Yeah, unless you're like made and have that 2v2 tomorrow in top 4. This is it for singles coming into the Dreamhack San Diego. Frydasole is trying to get this lead back by getting a scythe down air or nair off the side of the stage. He wasn't successful. WaveGod's been playing around it really well. He drops the recovery. He hits the very beginning of it, but drifts too far to the left, so he doesn't get the strong hits. Neutral light and a recovery there would have been huge. The downlight does not cut Frydasole there, and Frydasole just holds his ground, avoids the Sair, and hits him with the unarmed neutral light. Frydasole really playing confidently despite the deficit.
And he's at the weapon disadvantage as well. Finally picks up that orb, but he is very much in the red. There comes the D-Light from WaveGod. He's looking to finish this second stock up before he takes too much damage, but he's not having that much luck with it. He's now in the orange, but he does find that side air all the way up. Of course, he's going to jump all the way to the top of the stage, even off screen, throw that weapon up, and pick up the next one that spawns back in. I don't know whether I smell food or whether I smell WaveGod cooking, but either way, I am hungry.
Yeah, and same story. But WaveGod getting that side air there was really nice. What I wanted to talk about was that like he had a
that could have been
dare.
huge.
I can't believe Frydasole went for that in the ground. Pell gets the stuff recovery effects. How does Frydasole keep getting it with the dare from the orb? Not spaced correctly, bounces off the wall, doesn't get the knockout, and that edge guard was absolutely critical for Frydasole to be able to take this 3-0, because now WaveGod has gotten so much extra damage and is still playing with the second stock. Is that neutral light, weapon throw, neutral light, finally stopped by that down stick from the wake up from Frydasole, means that he went from yellow to orange at what could have been an even game.
And especially like those double neutral signatures on the orb that came out after that didn't make contact. You saw that's Fry getting hasty, hoping to catch WaveGod out, and he didn't. And out came the punishes from WaveGod, and that's why he's at such a huge damage lead here over Frydasole. It's not going to take too much
down
more.
Air,
Fry. Another down air.
Stump recovery. There again. He's got the weapon throw, the ground pounded. He avoids the down air, and just like that, Frydasole gets an incredible comeback there at the last stock of Game 3, and WaveGod putting his hands on his head, being like, I can't believe I let that happen. And I think all 3 games were decided by how great Frydasole was off stage with the scythe.
That's Fry over on the edge saying, like Omar Little, you come for the king, you best not miss. WaveGod missed, and you saw what happened. He went from yellow to orange to red to gone.
Yeah.
So